So everyone's been
for
talking
entertainment
about Jared
purposes
Kushner,
only.
talking about Jared
TikTok.
Kushner. Well, I'm sure
Watch
you've
with
seen
me
him
as
pop up
Indiana
a lot
Jones
lately,
discovers
and
another mystery.
admittedly, he is an interesting guy. In Trump's first term, it was Jared Kushner who came out of nowhere and started to broker Middle East peace deals. It was Kushner who developed the Abraham Accords deal. It was Kushner who helped to set up the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem exactly 70 years on its anniversary. It was Kushner who just recently, even though he holds no official White House position, instituted a major Israel deal between nations this term. And it was Kushner who advised this administration on what could happen if Gaza was vacated and then rebuilt. And now we see he is making plans to turn Gaza into an AI-driven smart city with his Project Sunrise plan. And ironically, Kushner knew the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, since he was a child. It's just interesting how he now is in the mix of all of this, and people are noticing that all of these things are just happening rapidly. They're scratching their heads, and when you look further into Kushner, many are also finding it interesting that it was also Kushner who made history with one of the largest real estate purchases when he acquired the 666 building as his company's office. And of course, what a coincidence there, 666, right? Of course, that would just have to be one of the largest purchases in the United States, the 666 building by Jared Kushner. And then you have people making the point that his name translates into 666 with Hebrew gematria. And then, some say, well, even his height is 6'3", 6'3". So you have all of these coincidences with the number 666. You have all of these negotiations with Israel. So you already know people are going to say that this is sounding like something out of a Left Behind end times movie. Some even jokingly say that he reminds them of the kid from The Omen, all grown up. No comment on that. And so, the internet is going crazy, and there is video after video being made about him. In fact, if you even go to his personal Instagram page, well, look at these comments. And these comments, they don't hold back. They are just calling him this. And, most people would turn off the comments at this point, but it's almost like Kushner is just bold with it. He doesn't care. When people see figures like Jared Kushner making moves like this, and they see all of the coincidences with 666, and oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this, the amount that he purchased the 666 building for was 1.8 billion, 600 million times 3. Just another coincidence, right? And there's so many of them. And so when people see this, it's easy to immediately say, oh yeah, that's the AC. He's got to be the AC. But we have to remember something very important. Revelation chapter's name. You see, one thing about the Bible is that the name of an individual is often linked to their purpose and identity. We see that with Jesus, Yeshua. Yeshua means salvation. Jesus came, brought salvation. The name Emmanuel is also linked to Christ, and that name means God with us. Abraham, that's a name that means father of many nations. So one's name is very important. And let's look at what the name of Kushner, Jared, means. Kushner, many have mentioned that his name in the Hebrew refers to descend or descent. Many have also noted that scholars sometimes connect that to the fallen angels when they descend to the earth, which is interesting. Also, few have noted that the name Jared appears in the Bible in 3 separate books, and in each book he's referred to as being the 6th generation. And so that's interesting that many have pointed that out. People are saying, well, they're connecting him with this whole 6th thing again, right? In Genesis 5, he's shown to be the 6th and then Chronicles the 6th, and Luke the 6th from Adam. So they're saying that's some type of an interesting pattern. And I'm just sharing these things because these are things that people have been talking about in the comments. I want to present them to you. People have said that Jared, the generation of Jared, is when the Watchers or the fallen angels came to the earth, right? And that seems to be the truth. You know, we see that right after Jared's generation, that's when there's this story of the angelic beings coming down and interfering with humanity and creating the Nephilim giants, right? And that was during the Jared generation.
Is the person who whispers into the king's ear. The king's advisor holds a lot of power. So anyways, Jared was that person. Everybody knew that if you wanted to get something done, you went through Jared. Okay, Jared was running the White House the first term. He just was. And what I think bothered me was Jared had so much power and he got a lot done that he wanted through President Trump. But then when Jared left his post at the White House, suddenly we learn that Saudi Arabia injects $2 billion into his fund. Okay, this is a headline in the Wall Street Journal. Jared Kushner's new fund plans to invest Saudi money in Israel. And so regarding the money, we would think after being in the office and speaking to your father-in-law that maybe that money would be coming to America in a big way. Well, Forbes did a deep dive on where that money was going. This was the headline. It was why Jared Kushner will become a billionaire no matter who wins. And in that article, it tells us, quote, Affinity had a slow start, deploying almost no capital in its first year while Kushner learned the ropes and navigated a turbulent pandemic market. But it's since picked up the pace and has now invested about $1.6 billion in at least 8 firms in Brazil, Germany, Israel, the U.S. and U.K., and the UAE in industries ranging from finance to energy. Its most notable investments so far are the ones that it made in Israel. In September of 2023, Affinity announced a $110 million deal for a 15% stake in the automotive and credit business of the conglomerate Shlomo Group. It was the first ever known investment by Saudi and Qatari wealth funds in Israel. I'm just going to LOL that because I'm funded by Qatar. Okay, take down Candace Owens. It's just like Israel does deals with Qatar the whole time. That's the point here. I really do wish that money was being invested in America, again, because you used the office to facilitate deals that would help you and your family. Of course you did that. Because then you wonder, okay, what is his vision after October 7th?
Could Kushner be the Antichrist? Leave your comments and thoughts below in the comment section.